I want to turn to where the bad information about the Russian invasion at this juncture, where it goes, whether it matters, if at all, inside Russia. Malcolm, we just spoke to Andrei Kozyrev, who was the foreign minister under Yeltsin. So we saw the footage, for example, of Lavrov today, current foreign minister. He was once deputy to this individual, and I'm about to play some of what he told me last night, which was pretty striking because I'm just a journalist asking the general questions. We have all these experts, someone like you and Caddy who studied the foreign policy, or this individual who served in the Kremlin at the highest levels. So I asked the basic question, if this is going so poorly, the death toll for Russian soldiers, as Caddy just mentioned a moment ago, quite high by any global scale, how does that affect Putin? And he basically said the way it works, he called it, quote, Russian tradition, but he said something rather striking. He said the way it works, they'd sooner show a Russian leader to their grave than give them bad news that might endanger the aides themselves. Here's how he put it. Is there anyone inside the Russian government who can even give him the bad news?
That is less possible than overthrow him. That's a Russian tradition. They fear to tell the boss the truth, but one day they might come with a weapon and escort him either to the grave or to retirement.
They won't share the bad news because it could endanger themselves. But as he put it, Malcolm, they may come with a weapon and show him to the grave or early retirement. Serious stuff. Your reaction as an intelligence analyst of that Kremlin insider's view?
Yeah, I saw that interview. I thought it was absolutely fascinating. Let me tell you something. This is likely not going to end well. And that may mean that somebody, especially if Vladimir Putin resorts to chemical weapons in Central Europe, even if it's a false flag operation, the way they did in Syria, you're going to see someone is going to be motivated to terminate his command. That is just not going to stand. That's the sort of thing that will lead NATO into war with Russia. And to be quite honest, they have 75% of their army is around Ukraine. So it's not like they're well protected. I don't know what Vladimir Putin's thinking. I don't understand his calculus because his calculus is Russian. As Anne Applebaum has warned us, we should not think through the lens of the West, that it would not be unthinkable for him to actually launch chemical weapons in Europe for the first time since World War I. That being said, the Russian people will have to resolve this issue because I'm one of the few analysts that believes I think the Ukrainians are doing a lot better than most people think. The Pentagon said 7 days, 2 days for the taking of Kyiv. I said months. Now we're going to months.
Caddy, same line of questioning to you. Everyone's familiar that Putin has a KGB background, that he wages information war, that he's not to be underestimated. But that Kremlin insider's view was that as the propaganda piles up over the years, and as Putin has isolated himself, literally physically when we see those dramatic photos of the long table meetings, but also with his inner circle over the past few years, he may really not know things. He may be genuinely surprised that it's taking this long. He may be, in his own way, upset that things are not going according to plan. It's clear the timeline is different than they wanted. Your analysis?
Yeah, it was really interesting listening to Bill Burns, the director of the CIA, speaking at the Senate Intelligence Committee on exactly your point, Ari, that that Putin is somebody who cannot tolerate the idea of losing, who sees losing or backing down in any way or admitting that he is wrong as a huge sign of weakness. And his rather depressing conclusion in the committee hearing today was that all of these talks, the ones we saw in Turkey, the ones that we've been seeing in Belarus, are really just for tactical reasons. He doesn't actually feel committed to those talks, and he's just doing them because he doesn't see an end game. That there is no clear off-ramp for him. There's no clear victory for him anymore. And he's just spinning this out with these, prospect of humanitarian corridors, which then get broken. And that makes somebody incredibly dangerous, somebody who doesn't see what the end of this is, somebody who doesn't see a way out of this, who feels cornered, who feels it's weak to back down. Every single atrocity that's committed in Ukraine is another off-ramp that President Putin has chosen not to take. And that leaves everybody, and if there are God forbid, chemical weapons in Europe or even worse in Europe, that leaves everybody in an incredibly dangerous situation.
Understood. Katty Kay and Malcolm Nance, my thanks to both of you leading us off.